Now moving up is one of the New Zealanders, Ebury, into line. And they look to be about set. Mobile Peter steadies down again. Hollyport Lass is in there. Somalia moves up to the extreme outside gates. Be Happy stands well. Cub Caper held by a gateman. He's a little fractious Cub Caper. And Shot of Comfort, the inside runner. Lord Revenor stands well. So does Centro. Should get them away. They're off in the Guineas of 91, and Marine Drive began very awkwardly with the head up, and he's a clear last to leave the gate. St Jude is going to spear straight across from the outside barrier to lead. Centro moving to second, followed by Cub Caper, Stradmore. Then Be Happy and Pre-Record. Shot of Comfort on the fence, out a bit deep, All Mine. And back behind those, Lord Revenor, followed by Somalia, Hollyport Lass. Ebury went back to be second last, and Marine Drive last after that slow start as they go out of the straight. Now the pace has slowed up suddenly. St Jude's rider looking for a pacemaker but can't find one. The rider of Centro doesn't want to be in front, and now Moses on Be Happy is going to whip around the outside and go to the lead in a race of changes. Be Happy takes over as they swing to the back at the 1200 mark and led from St Jude and Centro, and then Cub Caper. Stradmore running fifth, one off the rail, and further back Pre-Record, followed by Shot of Comfort, Mobile Peter. On the fence, bottled up at the moment is Lord Revenor, then All Mine, followed by Somalia. Marine Drive is well back, and back towards the tail, Hollyport Lass and Ebury as they go down the riverside towards the 800 mark, and Be Happy led. Centro second, St Jude third, a length and a half to Stradmore and Cub Caper together. Further back Pre-Record at the head of the other, Shot of Comfort, followed by All Mine. They're packing up now, and then Mobile Peter being hurried along, followed by Hollyport Lass, Marine Drive. Well back Lord Revenor with Ebury and Somalia last. Up the hill, about 500 metres out, and Be Happy is joined by Centro on the outside. St Jude is tucked away on the fence. Stradmore's had every hope, although he'll have to go 4 deep on the corner. At the head of the others, Pre-Record, followed well back by Cub Caper, and then Shot of Comfort and All Mine as they turn the corner. It's Be Happy, Centro and St Jude. Stradmore can't go on at the moment, followed by Lord Revenor. St Jude hit the front, 150 out, and the little horse shot clear. St Jude has raced away from Be Happy, followed by Centro and Stradmore, but it's all St Jude in the last bit. He's careering away and he wins the Guineas in a trot. St Jude beat the fast finishing Lord Revenor. Stradmore third, only plodded to the line, and then All Mine, Be Happy and Ebury, followed by Centro, then Mobile Peter, Somalia, Hollyport Lass, Shot of Comfort. Pre-Record well back with Marine Drive, and tailed off in the event was Cub Caper. The winner has absolutely blitzed them. St Jude, ridden by Brian York. Number 1 St Jude to pay $5.50 and $2.20, and he careered away in the last bit to win the Guineas in a trot. Second, the strong finishing Lord Revenor, number 3, a place dividend of $6. And Stradmore looked as though he'd be struggling to run a place halfway down the straight, but got going again to finish third, a place dividend of $1.90. Ken.
It was a no contest, John. St Jude was just far too good. He bolted away here, and he's left the others well in his wake. 2, 3, perhaps more lengths in front. Lord Revenor, he'll be suited by the AJC Derby of 2,400 metres in the blue and white, getting home along the rails. And as John said, Stradmore got a second wind to run third, just ahead of Be Happy. I'll tell you something about Be Happy. When you see him in the wet, that's the day to back him. He won 5 in a row in New Zealand on wet tracks. But it was a good track today. No excuses for anything. St Jude was far too good in the Canterbury Guineas.
Today was his 20th start, 8 wins, 4 seconds, 2 thirds, and he finished not too far away from Triscay in the Australian Guineas at Flemington, and before that he'd put together wins at Doomben and also in the Kyneton Guineas in Victoria, and of course last October he won the Spring Champion Stakes at Randwick, beating the subsequent Victorian Derby winner Fire Oak. St Jude by God's Walk from Out of Danger, trained by Bruce McLaughlin at Kembla, ridden by Brian York, who rode to a set plan. He fired out of the extreme outside barrier to lead at the winning post the first time. I think Brian was pretty relieved when Be Happy slipped around the outside to take up the running, turning to the back, which gave St Jude a lovely sit. And he claimed the leaders at the 200 and then just walked away from them to win by almost 4 lengths. St Jude coming back in, he pays tote odds of $5.50 and $2.20. He's by God's Walk, who died at stud in South Australia a couple of years back. He's out of danger. raced by Wilton Bloodstock, F. English, J. O'Neill, H. Trinder Investments, E. Connolly and R. Argent, and ridden the perfect race by Brian York. And one of the connections, or some of the connections of the winner, are very proudly now coming over to lead their fine colts back into the winner's circle after the Tui's Canterbury Guineas. The runner-up, Lord Revenor, is by Nassapur from Revenor, trained by Bruce Wallace at Takanini in New Zealand, ridden by P.G. Timms, and Stradmore by Star Wave from Cressadonde, trained by Bob Thompson and ridden by Shane Dye, and Stradmore appeared to have every possible hope in the race. 3 3/4 lengths by Long Neck, 156.89, Quinella 59.80, extra double $13, and the trifecta $802.10. And here is St Jude entering the winner's circle after the Tui's Canterbury Guineas of 1991. Everybody associated with these horses that are victorious in our big group races with such not just massive prize money, but it increases the value of the animal from a stud viewpoint no end. In the case of a colt like this, and even more so with God's Walk now dead, the sire of St Jude, it adds enormous value to his potential value at the stud. Now the runner-up, Lord Revenor, he gets home well, and he'll now in all probability run in the Rosehill Guineas and the Derby. And yeah.